I'm Doug Brown with the NBA draft tomorrow night. The Hornets are considering their options with the second overall pick. GM Mitch Kupchak won't rule out trading that number 2 overall pick. No team in baseball hotter than the first place Cincinnati Reds right now.
They play Fraley to pull on the infield. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Fraley yanks it to right toward the corner, and it is gone! Fraley lines it out of here, and the Reds are on top 5-3.
The call on 700 WLW, that's the game winner and the final score. The Reds sweep the Rockies and get their 11th straight win. A U.S. Senate subcommittee on investigations schedules a hearing for July 11th on the proposed golf merger. Among those invited to testify, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan and LIV CEO Greg Norman. The 23-player U.S. roster for the Women's World Cup includes 14 first-timers. The youngest player, 18-year-old Alyssa Thompson. The oldest, Megan Rapinoe.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
The 1-1 in the air to left field. Pearson on the run. Pearson on the track. Over the shoulder. Makes the grab. Tigers win. Tigers win. They defeat Tennessee in shutout fashion here in Omaha by a final of 5-0. And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Miggity, 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 Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Okay, let's do it quickly. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
Hump day.
Here we go.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Tigers face elimination and say, "Get out of my face."
Hump day.
Tigers look at Tony V and say, "Get your happy ass back to Rocky Top."
It's hump day.
You punks.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You chumps.
Hump day.
You losers.
It's hump day.
No, literally, they lost.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU beats Tennessee.
Hump day.
Wake Forest staring you in the face.
It's hump day.
Our good friend Tom Skip Tom Foreman.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
In 12 minutes.
Hump day.
Doug Thompson next hour.
It's hump day.
The Otter in hour 3.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
A ton to do. Let's get going. All right. It is after further review. We are thrilled to have you aboard with us here. Let us begin, as only we should, with this.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So, in order to come out of the losers bracket at the College World Series, especially since they have now eliminated a couple of the rest days, you need extraordinary things to happen. I would say that Nate Ackenhausen hurling 6 shutout innings in an elimination game in Omaha certainly qualifies as extraordinary. His season long to that point was 3 2/3 innings pitched. He had done it a couple of times, most recently in the SEC tournament against South Carolina. But my goodness, what an outing by Nate Ackenhausen. And, Jay Johnson talked about the decision to start Nate Ackenhausen when most of us thought it was going to be Riley Cooper.
Trust in the competitor, and this is a big deal if you haven't been here before. I think our team's handled it great, honestly, and I knew he would handle it well. I knew he would throw strikes. Saw some things in a matchup that I liked. Saw some things in previous games here just throughout the tournament that I liked, that I thought he could be effective. The thought really was 3 innings, 60 pitches. My initial target was 12 hitters. And, he obviously accomplished a lot more than that.
Here's why that is so pivotal. Jay Johnson acknowledges he wanted 3 innings out of Riley Cooper. Go get me 9 outs. Hand it to the next guy. Faced 12 hitters. Basically threw the lineup once, turned the lineup over, and handed off to somebody else. Got him in order in the first. In the second, Merritt led off with a single, but then they got the ground ball double play. In the third, struck out Scott, struck out Stark, Ahuna singled, then he hit Ensley. So now you've got 2 on with 2 out, and Dickey, the 3-hole hitter, coming up. Jay Johnson mound visit. Remember, you're right at the end of the rope. This is what Jay Johnson said. I want 9 outs. Give me 9 outs, 12 hitters. This is that point in the game. And on the first pitch, he gets Dickey to fly out. Remember what Jay Johnson said after the Wake Forest loss when he was asked about his pitching plan? I'm going to start someone, and he's going to get outs as long as he can get outs. And then we'll give it to the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy. Well, they run Ackenhausen back out there in the 4th. Ground out, strikeout, ground out. In order. A 10-pitch inning. Okay. Now you just got 12 outs. Send him back out there. And he goes back out for the 5th, and I thought this was pivotal. And by the way, the reason you send him back out there in the 5th is because now he's facing the bottom of the order. He struck out the bottom of the entire 7, 8, 9-hole hitters the first time through. He struck him out. So let him go face him again. Okay. Denton strikes out. Scott flies out. So you got 2 outs. He hits Stark with a pitch, and then Ahuna doubled. Now all of a sudden, you've got 2nd and 3rd, 2 out, mound visit. What do you do? What do you do? You've already gotten way more than you thought. You got guys hot in the bullpen. Jay Johnson leaves him in. Ensley flies out to right. Lazy fly to Joe Barron right. Got out of it. Now you're through 5. What the hell? Let's give him 6. Bing, bang, boom. Dickey, Merritt, Moore in order. Now you've gotten 12 outs. 18 outs. 18 outs. 6 innings from Nate Ackenhausen when you were hoping to get 3. Incredible. What a performance by Nate Ackenhausen. Certainly had it in him, was a starter at the junior college level, but had not been that this year. And what a time for him to show up in that manner. After the game, Jay Johnson was asked about the pitching staff. And it was so interesting because you could tell he's heard the criticism. And it irks him. And he let that fly last night.
Yeah, I feel great about it. And the reason I feel great about it is because of the offense that I just alluded to, because Paul has been Paul and so astronomically out of this world good. We've had a pretty good year from the mound, but because of some of the injuries and because of 2 speed bumps through the best conference in the country, there's this thought that we don't have a great pitching staff. I think we have a great pitching staff, and we have plenty of guys to execute in a way that can give us a chance to be successful. Feel great about it.
Said it so many times this year. You learn about your team in the midweek. You see what situations guys can handle. So when you get to the postseason and you've pared down your pitching staff, you know who you trust, and you let them go get you outs. It's no longer, can this guy bridge me from the 7th to the 9th? It's no longer, can this guy be a starter? You know who you trust. Give him the ball, let him go get outs. And that's what you're seeing right now. Offensively, LSU squandered a lot of opportunities in this ballgame. In the first inning, you got 1 run after Cruz walked, White struck out, pass ball, Cruz on second, Morgan singles. So now you're 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and you get 1 run out of it thanks to Cade Beloso's RBI single. In the second, Milazzo was hit by a pitch, and then you went strikeout, fly out. In the third, you went up and down in order. In the fourth, Beloso singled to lead off. Thompson popped up the bunt. Never bunt. Then Joe Bear grounded into a double play. Squandered opportunity. Time and again, you had those opportunities that you let get away. Even when you did break through. When you finally broke through and you got the run in the sixth with the Dugas drag bunt, you still had a situation where you could have gotten more after Beloso's walk because you go Morgan double, Dugas drag bunt, the run comes home on the errant throw, then Beloso walks. So you've got first and second, no outs. Thompson pops up a bunt. Never bunt. And then Joe Bear grounds into a fielder's choice, and then Milazzo popped up on the infield. You had opportunities to blow it open. You just didn't get to that point at any point in the game until the very end. You push across a run in the ninth, and then Dylan Cruz with the two-run bomb. In the eighth, and Dylan Cruz with the two-run bomb in the ninth to give you the breathing room that you needed. There's so much to talk about, and it'll be interesting to see what Jay Johnson elects to do today. The radio broadcast before the game yesterday noted that Hayden Travinski was battling a nagging injury, which is why he was not in the lineup. We talked yesterday that maybe it was a situation with the wind blowing in that Jay Johnson was leaning on defense. And if that were the reason, it worked. There were twice Milazzo with runners on third, blocked up balls in the dirt, one for each pitcher, Ackenhausen and Cooper. And it fittingly was Milazzo at the plate in the eighth when there was a breaking ball in the dirt that allowed a run to score from third that gave LSU a little more breathing room to go up 3-0. Tonight, if Hayden Travinski's available, I want Travinski in the lineup. You're facing Wake Forest, and I think you are going to need every possible bat in your lineup. And I would want Travinski in the lineup tonight because I want his bat. But we'll get to there. At its most basic level, and we got a lot to talk about here with LSU and Wake Forest as we're counting you down to that game here tonight. But LSU, the disappointment of losing to Wake Forest, the manner in which they did, a great outing from Floyd, really strong outing backed up by Hurd. It's a 3-2 ball game where you had your chance, runners first and third with nobody out in the eighth. You couldn't get the run across. They score in the eighth, and just like that, your opportunity to be in the driver's seat. Now you got to play 4 games in 4 days. That's what's staring you in the face. They could have been dejected, deflated, all those things. Instead, they come back and they shut out Tennessee and send them home. And they give themselves a shot now to go take their swing at number 1 Wake Forest tonight and hopefully tomorrow as well. So a lot to talk about. Great win for LSU. You stack them one day at a time, as cliche as it is. You got the one. And now can you go get another one tonight and force an, if necessary, game on Thursday? And if so, you very likely have Paul Skeens back. So this is the one that's the toughest of the climb because of where your pitching staff is, and you're going to need someone else you don't rely on tremendously to have the outing of their life against the best team in the country. And can you get it? If you can, you live to play another day, and you get to take your swing with Paul Skeens on the mound. Hope the Tigers get there. So we'll talk plenty today about LSU and Wake Forest. Thanks for being with us. Of course, our show open every day brought to you by Bud Light. Our friends over at Mockler Beverage have done it again. They've stepped up with another pair of tickets for tonight's ball game. So if you are in Omaha, if you know someone who is in Omaha, shoot me a text, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Let me know why you want the tickets, and we'll choose a winner. Again, we did it at random the first couple of days, but we had someone not claim them on Monday. So I want to make sure these tickets get used. So if you're in Omaha or know someone who is, let us know. We would we'd love to give away a couple of pair of tickets for this game tonight. Text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, courtesy of Mockler Beverage and Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, quick break. Let's head to Omaha. It is LSU and Wake Forest for the second time. So for the second time this week, let's chat with our buddy Skip Foreman, who is now officially our buddy. He is our lifelong friend, a lifelong friend of mine and of After Further Reviews. And we're excited to have him back. That'll be next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Matter of fact, I called River City's 1 Hour Air today. They had actually called me about a month ago, and I was negligent and didn't do the thing that I tell you to do all the time, which is make sure you get your preseason AC tune-up. But as part of their membership club, that is part of my maintenance plan. It is complimentary seasonal service. So Next week, I'll have, on Friday, as a matter of fact, I'll have a technician from River City's 1 Hour Air coming out to the house, and they'll check out the AC. Should be in tip-top shape. We actually have one for the whole house, then we have one for the master bedroom as well. The whole house AC for the main part of the home is 2 years old. They had River City's 1 Hour Air replaced it a couple of years ago, did a beautiful job with the install. The one in our bedroom is the original AC of the home, which is 25 years old. Part of the reason it's lasted as long as it has is because we service it annually. I practice what I preach. I highly encourage you to do the same. But look, if you got issues with your AC, don't get stuck in the heat. Call River City's 1 Hour Air.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired. Are you with me?
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you.
Pop, pop.
What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, let's head back up to Omaha for the second time in 3 days. It is LSU and Wake Forest. Skip Foreman covers Wake Forest for the Greensboro News and Record. Joins us on Mondays. Good enough to join us again here. Skip, thanks for jumping back aboard. How are you?
Glad to be back and doing well and staying inside because it's currently 90 degrees. But, hey, you're in Baton Rouge. Big deal, right?
We had a horrendous hail event here yesterday. It is currently 92 with a heat index. I can't see the heat index, and quite honestly, I'm not so sure I'm interested in seeing what the heat index is right now. But yes, smart to be inside. Hey, I think this is probably the matchup, Skip, that we expected to see for the right to go to the championship series one way or another with LSU and Wake Forest. How did Wake Forest use their day off?
I do know they went to a steak dinner last night, and they've gone to steak dinners on the nights that they're not playing, but I don't think they've done anything other than practice. They've, as I understand it, gone to a high school field and gotten some workouts. It's not quite the same as maybe getting a workout here at the Charles Schwab Field, but if you need your work, you need your work, and you go where there's a baseball field to give you the opportunity. So fine-tune some things, I'm sure, try to figure out how to really get the bats cranked up and face LSU for a second time and do what they did to them the first time.
Man, you know, it's interesting you said about getting the bats cranked up. We've been having that convo, and early in this tournament, the ball was flying, but even still, the most any team has scored in this tournament so far is 6 runs. It's happened a couple of times, but that's the most. You're there. Give me your sense of why we're seeing the lower run totals this year.
Well, I think we've got great pitching. You've got Skeens. Wake Forest has Louder. You just have the people coming out here with excellent resumes when they take them out. It's just difficult to do now what you did to get you here. I mean, 22 runs it may be the cumulative total for any team. I mean, I'm using that number because Wake Forest got 22 against Alabama.
Right.
That's the standard. But you aren't facing the second and third arms on a team trying to get here that wasn't maybe as great as you. You're facing the cream of the crop, the best arms, and among the best arms in the country. So what's going to happen is you're not going to score a lot of runs. They're going to be at a premium, and you have to make everyone count and hope your arms get you through it.
Let's go back to Monday night's game, and we saw the way that it transpired. Ty Floyd was pretty special for the first 5 innings, and it was such a well-played ball game. It came down to the 8th. LSU had an opportunity. They couldn't capitalize. Great defensive play by Wake. Wake did capitalize in the bottom of the 8th. When you look at that game in whole, and having seen Wake play all this season, what stood out to you about their performance in that game on Monday?
It is a resilience that really they haven't had to show much of the year. They're double-digit run scorers. They get to the plate and they flat mash it. Now they're in a situation where we're not mashing it. We've got to play small ball to get by. We've got to play station-to-station baseball to make it work. You throw that in with the belief that they're going to win and the knowledge that they've got the pitching staff to get them there. This is how they're surviving. This is how they're persevering through it all. It's a different Wake Forest team we're seeing here in Omaha than we saw in Winston-Salem and indeed throughout the ACC. They scored double-digit runs like you and I breathe. But now we're at the point where they aren't doing that, but they're still winning. A couple of 3-2 victories. I mean, that. If anybody told me that in April, I would have said, "Nah, they'll hit. They'll keep hitting," but they're not. But the arms keep them in it. The bats come through when they need to.
Skip Foreman, Greensboro News and Record covers Wake Forest. He's up there in Omaha. So let's talk about. They've obviously still had the arms there in Omaha that have performed admirably. By my guess, it's either going to be Seth Keener or Sean Sullivan tonight to start. I would assume, Skip, we see both those guys. How do you think Tom Walter lines it up tonight?
I think he's going to start with Keener, and I plead ignorance because I don't know how the lefty-righty matches up for both teams, but Keener would be the choice because he's usually the Sunday pitcher. So, I mean, he comes in. Sullivan would probably be behind him if he needs him. The idea is to get maybe 5-6 innings out of Keener, bring Sullivan in the 7th, and let the bullpen finish the game. So that would be Coach Walt's thinking, at least in my estimation.
Yeah. Could you give us a little? I mean, I know Keener is a 6'2" junior. He's a righty. How would you compare and contrast the righty Keener and the lefty Sullivan?
There's hardly any significant difference between the two of them. I mean, you've got Keener with a 2.18 ERA, Sullivan with a 2.59. They go out and they get the job done. Maybe Keener's a little faster, a little bit more velo on his fastball, but I think in the final analysis, you could interchange them and get the same result. It's not going to be radically different for the LSU bats if they see one guy or see the other.
If they do get into a tight situation late in the game, is there any chance that we see Louder tonight?
No. We were discussing that on the way in, and I don't think he would bring Louder out. You have to sort of say, we've got the bullpen who can handle this. If we get in trouble, we'll let our guys come out of the pen and calm the storm. Louder won't pitch today. If there is a tomorrow, I'm not sure he'll pitch then either. But, that it's the Hartle-Sullivan thing at this point. You may have to pitch Louder tomorrow, but they're hoping they don't have to. But I really don't think you're going to see him tonight.
Interesting. My assumption would have been if there is a tomorrow that we see Louder Skeens. Just to clarify, you disagree? You don't think that's the matchup we would see tomorrow?
Tomorrow, maybe. And I hesitate a little bit only because of the depth of the Wake Forest pitching staff. But Louder has gotten significant rest. A Louder Skeens matchup is probably what we're going to see tomorrow if it comes to that, because there is significant rest here. It seems like the perfect matchup. Wake Forest pitching is deep, but I think in a winner-go-home situation, Louder goes. You'd like to have him for the championship series, but you don't get to a championship series if you don't throw your best arm.
Exactly. I think most people were hoping we would see Louder Skeens in a championship series. Had LSU and Wake ended up on opposite sides of the bracket, how fun would that have been? Instead, we'll do it again tonight. So it does LSU and Wake for the second time up there in Omaha. He is Skip Foreman of the Greensboro News and Record. We appreciate a couple of minutes, Skip. Enjoy the ball tonight. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Plan on it.
It is our pleasure. Louder, by the way, did throw 100 pitches. And forgive me because I know they chased him in the sixth. He pitched 5 1/3. I say chase him. I mean, they had a chance in the first inning. Stanford did in the opener. Had an uprising against Louder, and they just pushed across 1 run in that first inning. And it could have been way worse. They had the bases loaded against them with 1 out.
They did. They had the bases loaded.
I mean, it could have. Stanford had a chance to really get to him, and he wiggled off the hook. But despite the fact that he only went 5 1/3, he did throw 100 pitches. So, would you bring Louder back on 3 days? That was interesting. Maybe I could understand him not using Louder tonight. The really interesting thing would be if there were a tomorrow, and it's win to go to the championship series, lose, your season is over. I cannot imagine a scenario where you wouldn't throw your best arm. Cross that bridge if we get there tomorrow. In the meantime, Tigers got work to do to make tomorrow a reality. It's after further review. All right. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. That's SouthPointVW.com. Hey, ever since COVID, when you drive around, you see so many empty car lots. There was all these things about supply chain and just the microchips and everything that you heard. Everybody knows the story. But at South Point Volkswagen, they've got a really good inventory and a full lot. So go check it out. I mean, yeah, you can shop online. The average car buyer visits 1.2 dealerships before they make a purchase now because people shop online. But you can go check out that inventory. They got a great inventory right now at South Point Volkswagen. The ID4 is there. It's the all-electric SUV for everyone. The 2022 Volkswagen Taos is there. It is a fun-sized SUV. Man, they even have lease bonuses right now on the ID4, which also is one of their IIHS top safety picks. So they're all-electric vehicle, one of the safest vehicles on the road. Check it out, the Atlas and the Crossport. You hear me talk about it all the time. Great deals right now at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, Taylor Calandro will be here in 15 minutes for a little Bourbon Dictionary. 30 minutes from right now, Doug Thompson, former Tiger pitcher, LSU Sports Radio Network. We'll talk to the Duggar about what LSU's plan might be in the ball game tonight. One thing is for sure, Jay Johnson, after the first loss to Wake Forest, was asked his pitching plan. He said, we got 9 guys available tomorrow. We'll start with one, go to the next, and the next, and the next. Well, use 2 of those 9, right? So Ackenhausen and Cooper, you would assume are not, well, Ackenhausen certainly, Cooper likely not available after throwing 40 pitches yesterday. So if you're just looking at, of the 7 you have, Javen Coleman by the end of the season was your number 3 starter. So Coleman is certainly an option and could very well be your starter. Yesterday, they had Blake Money and Gavin Guidry up in the bullpen. So Money and Guidry you'd have to throw there. Griffin Herring has pitched a lot of really big innings for this team. That's 4 arms right there that you trust. Bryce Collins has pitched in Omaha, was there with Jay Johnson's team in 2021. So Collins is another arm you have. And then you also have Sam Dutton and Christian Little. So you really hope you don't have to get down to the Collins-Dutton-Little conversation. And that some combination of Coleman, Money, Guidry, Herring can get you 27 outs, and your offense produces enough to get you home and force a game, and if necessary, game tomorrow where you can hand the ball to Paul Skeens. But you got a lot of arms available if you're Jay Johnson tonight. How do they make it work, and how do they piece it all together? They did so brilliantly on Tuesday against Tennessee. What will they do today against Wake Forest? We'll find out in short enough order. Let me knock out a quick break. We will go around the SEC. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel in Baton Rouge. The Renaissance is right there on Bluebonnet. I love telling you about the Renaissance Hotel. When I got to go tour with Nathaniel and Allison over at the Renaissance, they walked me through the entire hotel. So I got to see guest rooms. I got to see suites. I got to see all of the hotel amenities like the workout rooms, the office rooms that are available, all of the meeting space. So when I tell you, if you want to have an event at the Renaissance, like maybe you're a team coming in from out of town, maybe you're having an office workshop, go to the Renaissance Hotel. They have boardrooms that can accommodate 12, 24 people, or maybe you're having a large-scale fundraiser, a ball, some of the Greek dances are there, wedding receptions. They can host you at the Renaissance Hotel. At the Renaissance Hotel, they like to say, we're in the business of saying yes. Whatever event you want to have, they'll find a way to accommodate you at the Renaissance Hotel. Right there on Bluebonnet, Southtown in Baton Rouge, Bluebonnet near I-10. It's the Renaissance Hotel.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Sewell, the 1-2 delivery. Off speed. Cruz launches it in the air to right. Going back, Christian Scott to the track to the wall. This baby's gone! Dylan Cruz with a 2-run blast. And the Tigers extend the lead 5-0.
That would punctuate the scoring for LSU on Tuesday night. Dylan Cruz, 2 for 4 in the ball game. By the way, the average is up to 429, so he's 2 points away from tying Rafe's record, 3 points away from passing it. Cruz was 2 for 5 in the opener there in Omaha, and 2 for 4 last night. So everybody had their struggles against Wake the first go-round. Cruz hit a couple of balls hard, but nothing to show for it. Did walk. But last night, Cruz with the big bomb late and just missed another one. His second at-bat in the third inning, he absolutely murdered a ball. I wanted to say something else, but I wanted to say what I tweeted. If you're interested, go look at my tweet for what I said he did to that baseball. But just hitting the wrong spot on that night with the wind blowing in right center. But Cruz did get one out to right field, which gave LSU its final margin. You know, we've talked a lot about the offense, and I know this has been a big part of the conversation as we've seen LSU now. They scored 6 against Tennessee in the first game, just 2 against Wake Forest. Struck out 13 times, 2 runs on 5 hits in that game against Wake. And then last night, offensively, it was a struggle until LSU added a run in the 8th and 2 in the 9th on the Cruz homer. But Jay Johnson, after the game, was asked about his offense and kind of if they the way it was kind of phrased, if they've sort of found something late in the game. And he kind of chuckled and took another opportunity to sort of shoot down one of the narratives about this team.
It's tough. I mean, these guys have played so good for so many games this season and set a standard of scoring runs and hits and on-base percentage and slugging that when you run into this park with the wind blowing in, shadows, and then Drew Beam, you heard the best hitter in college baseball call him a major leaguer. And then that staff we saw last night that we'll see the next 2 days, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to win 5-0. And the game changes a little bit in that regard. And I thought they kept with it. I didn't feel like we got discouraged. I didn't feel like we stopped competing, and that was just enough. That second run was big where we got the leadoff double by Trey. Gavin laid down a nice drag to move him over, and they threw it away. It gave us a little bit of breathing room. them. Then we strung together some good at-bats. Again, that's off Seth Halverson, who's throwing 100 miles an hour. You're not going to score 10 in this environment. And so I'm proud of the way we kind of grinded it out, and then the two pitchers did a great job to make that just enough.
It's great perspective. Look, if it's a still day and the wind's blowing out, you can absolutely run a ball out of that yard, and you can put up runs. But it also stands to reason everyone in this World Series has elite pitching. All of the teams in this World Series have elite pitching. And you're in a ballpark with the wind blowing in, and it plays big, and everyone offensively is struggling in moments to come through. The Tigers, that's no excuse for the Tigers tonight. They're going to have to do it and back up your pitcher with some run support. But that was great perspective there from Jay Johnson. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. Michelli.com. With 30 offices across 11 different states, they're still locally owned and operated, and that is so important because, when you select a vendor, that's a relationship. That is a business relationship. But the vendor still has to deliver. At Michelli, their account managers, they will come pick up and drop off. So you don't have to worry about it. You have devices that need to be calibrated. You don't have to worry about packing up, shipping it to Chicago, and hoping you get it back in a timely manner. I mean, if you do, this is a local option. If you do the previous, what if you ship your devices and then your backup malfunctions or something goes wrong and you're weeks out from having a repair or a calibration? Not with Michelli. Their account managers will come see you. They'll pick it up, bring it back to their calibration labs, get you all set to roll, and then deliver it to you again. It's so relational. If it's surface plates or welding machines, pressure and temperature gauges, they got you at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. On-site options for you as well. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. At Michelli, we show the world what measurement can do. Michelli.com. All right, Bourbon Dictionary coming up here in just a few minutes with Taylor Calandro. Right now, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee football reportedly set to add Corey Robinson to its staff as a defensive analyst. That's of note here because Corey Robinson has been a part of the New Orleans Saints staff since 2020. He's now headed back to Rocky Top to work with a few former in New Orleans. He has worked with a few former Volunteers in Alante Taylor, Bryce Thompson. He's also spent times at Toledo, Temple, Rutgers, and Maryland.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy landed a 3-star wide receiver for the class of 2024. Dorian Williams committed. A little boring. I know. 6'2", 190-pound Cincinnati native. He chose the Doors over Kentucky, Michigan State, and Purdue. He's the 12th commit for Vandy's 2024 class.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Antonio Reeves has moved into his dorm at Kentucky, according to a report from 247 Sports. He will return to the team next year. He withdrew his name from the NBA draft a month ago, but it wasn't known if he was going to return to Kentucky or enter the transfer portal. He's now back with the Wildcats. Reeves averaged 14.5 points per game for the Wildcats this past season.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Less than 24 hours after entering the transfer portal, Mississippi State outfielder Dakota Jordan has removed his name from the transfer portal. He will stay in Stark Vegas. Music to the ears for Chris Lamonis, who's missed back-to-back postseasons after winning the national championship. Jordan was second-team freshman All-America this year. SEC All-Freshman team hit .307 with 10 bombs.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
And Ole Miss landed a transfer from Duke. It's Andrew Fisher, who committed out of the portal. Had a strong freshman season this last year for the Blue Devils. Played third base for him, hit .289 with 11 homers. He's headed to Oxford. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Product. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal, and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. They support our local teams as well over at Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Raging Cajuns. It's Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com. All right, Bourbon Dictionary. When we come back, get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, jump in the Buy Ford YouTube chat or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Get your questions in for Taylor. We'll do a little Bourbon Dictionary when we come back. And Doug Thompson here in 15 minutes from right now joins us from Omaha. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, y'all. Tigers at it again tonight. If you're going to be watching the College World Series at your house, you don't feel like cooking tonight, let Rouse's take care of dinner. No, they're not a restaurant, but they got tons of prepared food options. Great for lunch or dinner. You want to walk in, get some fried or boiled seafood, grab and go kiosk right there. You want sushi, freshly prepared in the seafood department right there at Rouse's. Walk into the butcher. You can walk into the big cases where they have so many different options. You can even create your own salad station. You want your protein and your vegetable. You can make your own dinner. Everyone in the family can have what they want tonight. It's all courtesy of Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You need something cold to drink, something hot to eat. You need flowers from the florist. You want something sweet. They got the bakery there as well. And you got to go make groceries. You got to go to Rouse's. Louisiana born and bred, more than 60 locations across the Gulf Coast now. It's Rouse's. This feels like home.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Get 3.99% financing at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. Operator, what you put me on through? Gotta send my love down to
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further... After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, let's get it. Wrapping up hour number 1, presented by Pluckers. By the way, no Pluckers trivia tonight on account of the game. They're just going to have the sound for the game piped through, so no Pluckers trivia tonight. But you can get by Pluckers and eat some wings, drink some beer, drink some whiskey, whatever it may be, and that's why we bring aboard our buddy Taylor Calandro from Calandro's to answer all your booze questions. How are you, dude?
Good, Matt. What's happening?
I'm excited, man. love this time of year. I know we've talked about it plenty, and you're a baseball guy too. So hopefully the Tigers can get it done again tonight like they did last night.
It's baseball overload, man. It's every night right now. It's great.
The 4 games in 4 days thing is pretty wild. Now you got to get to the 4th day, but we're 1 win away from getting there. So, hey, what's new? What y'all got going on?
Nothing really new, but we did get a little drop of Eagle Rare, and I just put that out on the floor. A few cases of Eagle Rare.
Okay.
Road. So, don't call us. We're not going to hold you any bottles. It's a limit of 1 per person, but please don't call. But we do have a few cases. I just put them out.
It'll be gone in 20 minutes now?
It could be gone by the end of the segment.
Yeah. Well, you said so. You put out 2 cases.
3 cases.
3 cases. Okay. Hey, can you save me a bottle?
No, I told you I can't save you a bottle.
You want to save me a bottle?
No, absolutely not. No.
I know. I'm teasing.
Radio guy.
Well, you could at least shoot your boy a text and be like, "Hey, we're about to put out some Eagle Rare if you want to get one."
I just told you on the phone.
What am I doing for the next 3 hours, you jerk? 2 hours and 10 minutes. Then I'm going home to watch the game. No, it's all good. Y'all know, get your questions in for Taylor. You can email us. You can tweet us. You can jump in the Body Forward YouTube chat. You can text your questions 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. You and I chatted last week, and I had an interesting I thought it was interesting when I did pop into the store and we were talking, and I was looking at all of your craft beer, and you were telling me you feel kind of like the craft beer bubble maybe has burst a little. I would love to know your thoughts on that, because, man, I feel like people still talk as much about craft beer as they ever have.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not like I'd say 3-4 years ago was really, really popping. Now it seems like we're kind of flooded with a lot of craft beer. There's a lot of options, which is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like a craft beer desert in Baton Rouge, and then we got tons of it, and it hasn't kept the same momentum as bourbon. I mean, American whiskey is still crazy, unstoppable force. But I mean, it's definitely leveled out, and I, like I said, I think it's because there are so many options now, and it's gotten a little expensive too. It's the prices of craft beer have gone up a lot, so. That could also be the reason.
No, for sure. So the other thing that's obviously big this time of year, and we talk about it all, is RTDs, the ready to drink. Like, that category has.
Yeah, I mean that I think that's part of the reason that craft beer has taken a hit is because of the RTDs. When we say RTDs, like White Claws or High Noons or Neutrals, stuff like that. The seltzer category has really put a hurt on craft beer for sure, and those still fly like crazy, and there's always new ones coming out too.
Taylor Calandro is with us. Let's get to some questions here. You can always, again, email us, tweet us, jump at the Buy Forward YouTube chat or text. Hunter said, ask Taylor, when are you going to be doing an Old Elk wheated barrel pick again?
That's a good question. I need to talk to Luis because we haven't actually done our own barrel pick with Old Elk in quite a while. So that could be sometime before the end of the year.
Here's one from Eric. Ask Taylor, good recommendation on a $40 to $50 tequila?
There's a lot of tequila in that category. You know what? The Noel Distillery stuff that we just got from Donaldsonville, their Blanco and their Reposado are both in between that range, and they're both really, really good.
There's a, I'm sorry, you said there's a tequila distillery in Donaldsonville?
So they source their tequila, but they make rum. It's called the Noel Distillery, the Noel family distillery. They're brand new. We just got their stuff, but they source their tequila straight from Mexico from a contract distiller and bottle it. It's really, really good stuff, and it's between $40 and $50. It's a Blanco and a Reposado.
Okay. Trent asked Taylor, favorite Scotch, and do you go Nita Rocks?
My favorite region of Scotland is Islay, so I like older Isleys. I would say my favorite brand of Scotch is probably Lagavulin. And in the summer, I will drink Scotch on the rocks, and in the winter, I like it neat.
Can you explain the regions? Like, what did you say? High, what was that?
Islay, so Islay. So Islay is the region of Scotland known for like the super smoky, super heavily peated Scotch. So the stuff that most people don't like, that aren't really into Scotch, that's the stuff that I like. And there's 5 different regions of Scotland, that being the heaviest peat, heaviest smoke profile, but they all have different flavor profiles in each region of how they do things.
We've got less than a minute, but this was an interesting one, and only because you pointed this out to me last week when I was there. Drew said, ask Taylor, does Calandro's have cannabis-flavored bourbon? And it was a joke, he said, for our boy Musso to sip on. But seriously, you told me about a drink that y'all had that was a cannabis drink.
So
that was there.
we're in the process of getting like CBD seltzers and like Delta 8 or Delta 9 seltzers. And he asked that question in kind of a satirical way, I know. But when I was in Amsterdam, they have weed whiskey. They have weed vodka with actual like marijuana floating in it and stuff like that. So that's not actually that crazy of a question. We don't have it, but it does exist.
Okay. Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. I'm inside of 10 seconds. Enjoy the game tonight. Thanks as always, man.
All right, man. Good Tigers.
All right. Be well. That is Taylor Calandro. Doug Thompson from Omaha, right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. Where personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Hornets GM Mitch Kupchak won't rule out the possibility of trading tomorrow night's second overall pick in the NBA draft. The Spurs hold the first pick. The Trailblazers are scheduled to pick third. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
This is viewed as a three-player draft. They have the third pick. I think Portland views Scoot Henderson, and if he's indeed there, as a potential all-star player.
Adrian Wojnarowski, who now reports the Celtics are working on a three-team trade that would bring Kristaps Porzingis from the Wizards to Boston. Malcolm Brogdon would go to the Clippers. Woj reports there's still work to do on this possible deal. Memphis Tigers head coach Penny Hardaway gets a 3-game suspension for the start of the college basketball season for recruiting violations. And after waiting 75 years for a U.S. Open, Los Angeles will get another one just 8 years from now. The USGA announces today the 2031 tournament will be played at Riviera Country Club.
A shorthanded summer staff calls for Indeed. Their hiring platform helps attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 2 hours away from first pitch there at Charles Schwab Field. LSU and Wake Forest for the second time in this College World Series. Last hour, Skip Foreman of the Greensboro News and Record was with us to preview the Demon Deacons. Let's head up to Omaha and chat with our buddy Doug Thompson to take a look at the Tigers and how they look heading into tonight's ballgame. Duggar, we always appreciate you, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, Matt. Doing great. Feels like just a short 7 years ago we were having these same conversations about the same time of year.
Man, there are 2017 vibes. There's no doubt that it feels similar to that. In what ways does this one feel different than that one?
Well, this time I have both of my sons here as opposed to just one. So that's
awesome.
Man, it just seems like there's more people here. It's just so much, so reminiscent of the late 90s. The hotel lobby's packed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The send-offs to the bus are just unbelievable, and it's just a fun time here in Omaha. Hopefully the Tigers can get a win tonight and force another game with Wake Forest.
You know, Duggar, we've also said it here, and I'm sure you have as well, but look, in order to come out of the losers bracket, you have to have something extraordinary happen. It was Caleb Gilbert in 2017. Last night, Nate Ackenhausen, 6 shutout innings. Just give me your reaction to what you saw from Ackenhausen and what worked so well for him last night.
Man, it was heroic. I've used that word so many times because I really can't think of another one. I mean, I'm putting it up there as one of the greatest outings in the history of the program in Omaha. And yeah, Caleb Gilbert had a great one, and many others have, right? But you know, that year Caleb Gilbert also had several starts under his belt, and to make your first start in the purple and gold in Omaha in an elimination game and go out there and get 6 scoreless, man, I don't have the words to describe how proud I am of Nate Ackenhausen, how well he represented the university, and of course the life that he breathed into this team that needs another one like that tonight. They're going to need somebody to step up, somebody unlikely, if you will, to be a hero, specifically on the mound. So it just hats off to that kid. I literally sought him out when I got back to the hotel and made sure to shake his hand and make him understand just how outstanding that performance was.
Let me go a step further here. Ackenhausen last night was that guy. They're going to need something comparable tonight, Doug, before you can get back to Skeens, Floyd, and sort of turn it back over. Mm-hmm. Who do you think, when you look at it, are the most likely candidates, or who is the most likely candidate to be that person tonight?
Well, I mean, I think Coleman's probably a good guess. I think we'll see Will Helmers. Not Will Helmers. I'm sorry. Griffin Herring. Blake Money was up last night. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in the game at some point tonight. But I think that's the ones you're looking at, right? Cooper's obviously probably not going to be able to go tonight, although maybe. How many pitches did he throw yesterday?
40.
Yeah, I think he's probably, still available to get an inning.
Okay.
Tonight. But yeah, those are the three names that have kind of been on my mind all day. Of course, I don't have any information, just kind of guessing with the rest of the community right now, both in Baton Rouge and here in Omaha.
What about Guidry?
Man, I really like him at the back end of that bullpen. So yes, I should have, of course, mentioned his name as a likely suspect for somebody that'll get in the game today. I just don't look for him to start.
Right, and forgive me, I didn't mean as a starting candidate. I mean, as he could, in theory. I was just saying, like, as someone who, at some point in this game tonight, you may well need him if you're piecing together 27 outs.
Oh, for sure. He could easily be in there to get the last 3 outs of the night. Could see that happening for sure.
You mentioned, obviously, Coleman Herring first, or Herring Coleman, in whatever order it may go. Do you see an advantage to throwing lefties tonight against Wake Forest? I mean, you saw that lineup on Monday. What's your thought there?
I should have done a little bit more research. I'm not sure what this lineup is hitting against left-handers. I think Wake Forest has 3 or 4 left-handed hitters. But I don't know that it has as much to do with that as it is like there's just more lefties available than right-handers when you consider Coleman and Herring. And I don't know. I just have a feeling Coleman hasn't been out there for a while. He has started some games, and I think it's going to be one of those two to start it off. But I think we'll see one of those two after. But I just really feel like it's either Coleman or Blake Money's also kind of. I've been thinking about him all day simply because last night, to me, when a coach gets a pitcher up in the middle of a tight game, that shows you that coach has some confidence in that player. And last night, Blake Money was up for 2 or 3 innings down in the bullpen.
Blake Money was up for a good half an hour. There's no doubt about it. It was like every time you look down there, he's just standing there like, "Yeah, coach, I'm hot whenever you need me."
He was ready from the 4th inning until about the 6th when they went in with Cooper.
Doug Thompson is with us on Twitter at DT9Tigers, of course, the LSU Sports Radio Network. I want to flip it and ask you about the offense. Last night, obviously, we saw Alex Milazzo start in place of Hayden Travinski. I know you all mentioned on the broadcast Travinski, maybe with a little bit of an injury tweak. Do you have any update about how Travinski's doing or if we might see him tonight?
He's sore. He's aggravated something and kind of in that in his rib cage area. It started in Kentucky, and I think he's just sore. I do not know who's going to get the nod tonight. Milazzo did an incredible job back there. I mean, I had him saving 2 runs with blocks, not just blocks on balls that were one was way outside in the right-handed or the left-handed batter's box to a righty with a man at third, and he had to jump out there and get in front of it. And another pitch was a solid 3 feet in front of the plate with runners at second and third, and he covered that one up too. So I've got no problem with Milazzo being in there because he really does a good job behind the plate. Of course, hopeful to see Travinski able to swing the bat and be comfortable doing it as soon as possible as well. But, Travinski it wasn't quite swinging the bat the same over the last couple games, and now we kind of know why. There was some soreness there. So if he's not swinging it like he was, which was at the same clip as Dylan Cruz over that 30-day span where he hit 10 home runs and batted .420, whatever. But if he's not feeling it offensively, then I think Milazzo is a smart move behind the plate, and it certainly paid off last night.
If you were put your pitching cap on, if let's say Travinski is healthy and is able to go. As a pitcher, would you rather? I've asked every pitcher we've had on this year this question, so I'd love your perspective. Would you rather someone who maybe has a reputation to be a better defensive catcher, or would you rather have the bat in the lineup?
Well, when I'm out on the mound, I'd rather have the better defensive catcher. But when my team does the bat, I'd rather have a guy that can hit it out of the ballpark.
So just give me Mike Piazza.
Terrible answer. Yeah. That's a terrible answer. But for me, I guess it would have to do with who we're playing, right? If it's going to be a slugfest, I want the guy with offense. If we think it's going to be a close game and there's a dude on the other side and it should be low scoring, I'd rather a defensive catcher. Does that work?
Yeah, it does. But I think of tonight. And I was just thinking about it, Duggar, because this could be a game where runs are hard to come by. Obviously, Wake has a great pitching staff, so part of me is thinking, man, I'd because runs are hard to come by, I might want the guy in the lineup that can run one out of the yard. They could change the scoreboard with one swing. So, but that's why Jay Johnson gets paid a lot of money to make those decisions. But
again, we don't have all the information, right?
For sure.
Hayden Travinski would be that guy unless his ribs are sore and he can't really swing it the same way. So,
right.
Back to the point, without all the information, it's tough to tell. But if indeed it bothers Hayden to swing the bat, then the no-brainer is to put in Milazzo to make sure that we cover it up behind the plate. And look, Milazzo reached base last night and did he come around to score a run? I can't remember.
No, he was.
A big walk.
Yeah, he was hit. He was hit by a pitch. That's right. But then he was at the plate in the eighth when the wild pitch allowed the third run to score. When Bill Franquez on the broadcast basically called his shot.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. For those that missed it, I know that the clip is on Twitter and on social media. Bill Franquez on the broadcast last night, if you missed it, in the eighth. I mean, literally the pitch before Sewell threw the wild pitch and the run came in from third. Bill Franquez essentially called it with the backup catcher in and Sewell burying ball. Said this one could get past him and a run could score. And I mean, on cue. That was pretty cool.
I tell you, man, we get lucky every now and again and guess a double or home run's coming, whatever. But just simply like that, man, a home run would be big here or a double. Billy had logic and reason behind why that wild pitch was likely.
Right.
And I told him at the break, Skip Burtman is at home in his recliner, very proud of you right now because there's not many people that can do that, watch the game that close. And he's one of the best in the business, man. I swear I enjoy working with Bill every time I get a chance.
Hey, Doug, last thing. I know, the wind has changed the way that park is played. It's almost like a golf course. Yep. What's it like today?
The wind's blowing in from center straight into home plate. And, that's a factor, man. As big as this outfield is, as much space as there is to carry, the wind is definitely a factor. And then when you throw in the sun, that absolutely crushes the shortstop, third baseman, and left fielder until literally it disappears from behind the stadium. It's one of the more difficult outfields that I can, recall watching players try to navigate. And I'll tell you, it's even difficult to actually call it from the press box. At the box, I could tell you within a 5-foot radius when it's off the bat where that ball's probably going to land. But here, man, I'm telling you, there's been multiple balls hit where the shortstop ends up catching it that I thought was going to be a left fielder's ball, the center fielder's ball. So not easy, but everybody's playing on the same field, and hopefully the Tigers again tonight defensively and at the plate.
Doug's with us on behalf of our friends over at the Louisiana Firefighters Foundation. They aim to create a safer community by offering training courses to current Louisiana firefighters and first responders, as well as free training and consulting services to our community business owners, teachers, administrators. They offer a variety of safety courses, consulting services, so it prepares them better for the unexpected and ultimately creates a safer Louisiana. You can learn more at louisianafirefighters.com. Really cool thing you're doing there, Doug. louisianafirefighters.com. I mean, what a more noble thing. I got firefighters in my family and some friends who are firefighters in our state. So hat tip there, louisianafirefighters.com. Really cool thing, man.
Well, thank you, man. It's an incredible organization. I would implore everyone to jump online and read about it. They're really doing great things. Trying to make Louisiana first when it comes to safety. We already know that when we have natural disasters and things of that nature, Louisiana is ranked first in the country in volunteerism, and that's a real thing. I didn't just make that up. So the people of Louisiana are going to be there when the times get tough, and this organization just aims to give information and tools to make Louisiana schools and businesses, as well as the first responders and firefighters, better at what they do and ultimately keeping us more safe.
Well said. All right, Duggar, we appreciate it, man. Let's get another one tonight, man. Hopefully we're talking again before this thing's over.
Let's do it, Matt. Look forward to seeing you soon, buddy.
All right, we'll see you. That is Doug Thompson, of course, of the LSU Sports Radio Network, 1997 national champ with the Tigers. It is After Further Review, brought to you by Pluckers. Quick reminder, no trivia tonight at Pluckers because of the game. They'll have the sound piped on and all that stuff, so no trivia tonight at Pluckers, and no scone and tea tonight either. It's just a conflict. Like we literally can't do we're not allowed contractually to do a companion show, and we'd be on when the game is on. So we'll be back at Oliver Twist next Wednesday when T-Bob's back as well. Stick around with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. My goodness, they got full greenhouses. If you want to add that beautiful pop of color to your outdoor space, Clegg's can help you do it. You want to beautify your lawn, maybe you've got some dead spots or some weed grass growing, Clegg's has the products and the know-how to knock out exactly what your issues is. If you have unwanted intruders like anthills or wasps or other things like that, Clegg's has all you need for that as well. It's Clegg's Nursery. Tell you about the mosquito barrier as well, the Aeon mosquito barrier. You want to be done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time? The mosquito barrier is $24.99. It is so simple, even I can figure out how to use it. Fill it up with water, shake it, hang it on your property line. You're done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time for $24.99. It's at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we are rolling along right now. And glad to have you aboard with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. We are counting you down to LSU and Wake Forest, an hour and 40 minutes away. Muse, we were like a little inundated there in the last 20 minutes or so. What happened at the end of the Florida TCU game?
Florida led off the ninth.
Who won?
Florida.
Ah, okay.
Florida led off the ninth inning with a double.
All right, I don't care.
Okay.
I just want to know who won.
Florida won.
Well, that's a bummer. So I see here. Okay, 3-2, Florida wins. So they scored a run in the ninth. That is a real bummer because if you're LSU and you do advance the championship series, you were really hoping, right, that Florida would have to extend themselves even further. Now Florida gets 2 days off and waits for the winner of LSU-Wake Forest, however this may go. Wake obviously could also have 2 days off if they win today. LSU and Wake could play tomorrow. However it may transpire, but Florida's going to be sitting pretty. They'll have a chance to rest and reset for 2 days and wait for whoever may be in the championship series.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get Sproat, Waldrop, Cags in the championship series.
Hey, that's
I mean,
fun. Yeah.
It is set up perfectly for them right now.
Yeah, kind of is. Were you surprised when Skip Foreman was with us in hour one and said no louder today, and then he said maybe not even tomorrow? That would shock
look,
me.
if there's a game tomorrow, Rhett Lauder is pitching. If he is not, Tom Walter will have a lot of explaining to do in that because Paul Skeens will be pitching. I'm kind of in the same vein as you, and I said it on the podcast this morning. If you have a chance to KO LSU and Rhett Lauder's your best chance to close out a game tonight, you do it because you don't want to face Paul Skeens tomorrow. Like I'm not telling you throw him the last 3 innings, but if you get to the ninth and there's a 1-run lead and LSU's already seen Manasseh, I'd go for the knockout punch and have Lauder for a relief outing in the championship series if I need it.
Did you see Manasseh's comment?
I did. I also saw the one with more context, and it's not nearly as abrasive as what people are clipping.
The clip that I got sent on Twitter is a very short clip where Manasseh, who's the closer for Wake Forest, said, I'm paraphrasing, I don't know how anybody can beat us. It seems impossible.
Yeah.
So what's the more context? Well, can you find me the one with more context, and we'll come back to it?
I can. Sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, it's After Further. Make sure you subscribe up to Musso at the Box if you're not subscribed up to the podcast yet, or LSU Daily, which is the podcast I do daily. If you want LSU content, we got tons of it for you on your favorite podcast app. Take a quick sidestep from baseball, just for a brief moment here. I was so this is the time of year where we joke about the feigned indignance of from sports talk show hosts over random summertime list, because summertime lists really don't matter. One of the things that was more interesting than just a random summertime list, though, is when ESPN does their future rankings, and they do this with their football power rankings. These are metrics that they use, so it is an algorithm. This isn't just people spitting out their opinion. They look at recruiting rankings, and they look at transfer portal rankings and success over the last 3 seasons to project success over the next 3 seasons, and a lot of different metrics that they use. Offensive and defensive efficiency, returning production. There's a lot of different things that go in. They pump it into the computer and spit in the algorithm. It spits out the rankings, and they try to predict how teams are going to be over the next 3 years. Well, it's the last couple of years, the number one team has been Alabama. This year, Alabama has been unseated. The team projected as the future, the number one team over the next 3 years is, as you might guess, the Georgia Bulldogs. And by the way, they do rank quarterbacks, future quarterback rankings, future offense, future defense, and then the future team rankings. So Georgia is projected number one, followed by the aforementioned Alabama. So Alabama just drops a spot behind Georgia in the future rankings. not a tremendous surprise. It's all the teams that you would expect. They've got Ohio State at number 3, and Michigan follows them at number 4, so a couple of Big Ten teams right there, 3 and 4. And remember, also of note is that over this time span, the SEC will expand, and also the Big Ten will expand, because you will have USC and UCLA in the Big Ten during this time span as well. Interestingly, LSU is number 5. Behind Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Michigan. Next is LSU. And they note that LSU is never far away from a national title because of the personnel advantage. The location for high school recruits. LSU's done really well in the portal. On top of that, naming all the players that LSU has nabbed in the portal. The young talent that will be around for a couple of years, Harold Perkins, Mekhi Wingo, Mason Smith, who obviously could go after this year. They talk about the short term for the offense with Jaden Daniels, and who knows what will be like after, but then some of the other young talent that they brought in on the offense, namely the offensive line. So for a lot of reasons, they look at LSU and like the Tigers a lot. The rest of the top 10, USC, Clemson, Penn State, 8, Tennessee 9, Florida State there at 10. I thought Tennessee at 9 is interesting because Tennessee has been woeful for the better part of 2 decades now, and they just had a very nice 11-win season. Can they continue to build upon that, I think, is a very real question, the macro of college football, but we'll see. I was thinking about this and seeing LSU at number 5, and I just thought, man, this is absolute garbage. It's a garbage list. And I can appreciate this isn't just plucked from the air. It's just not someone's opinion. There's metrics involved. But LSU at 5 is garbage. And it's not because they should be higher, and it's not because they should be lower. There's reason to believe LSU over the next 3 years could be, in aggregate, the 5th best team in college football, however you want to spit it out. The problem I have with this idea of trying to put this together is with the transfer portal, there is no way to measure that. We don't have a large enough sample size yet of what the transfer portal has meant for teams and how quickly that can cause a team's fortune to turn for the positive or for the negative. Look at Oklahoma and Southern Cal. Now, I'll grant you this is an extreme example, but Caleb Williams was a 5-star number 1 quarterback in the country at Oklahoma. He left with Lincoln Riley to Southern Cal, and Southern Cal went from a sub-500 team to a double-digit win team, and Caleb Williams wins the Heisman Trophy. Oklahoma went from a perennial playoff team to a sub-500 team, and there's a very real question about Brent Venables and his future there in Norman if he was actually the right guy, because of one guy. If Caleb Williams had stayed at Oklahoma and Southern Cal probably have diametrically opposed seasons. But that can happen in the portal era. But it's impossible to predict. You're not looking at high school talent and projecting how they may do. LSU. I mean, you don't need me to tell you this, but Brian Kelly inherited a team that had 39 scholarship players available for the bowl game, had about 50 on scholarship, and he had to remake an entire roster, and he did so through the portal. And the portal giveth, the portal taketh away. What if you didn't have Jaden Daniels a year ago? I know there's a lot of this fan base that's high on Garrett Nussmeier. Maybe Nuss would have been great. Maybe he would have been an erratic turnover machine. I don't know. What I do know is because of the transfer portal, you remade your secondary. You were able to supplement your offensive line. You got your starting quarterback. I mean, you're not what you were a year ago without the transfer portal. Notre Dame's fortunes this year look dramatically different because of Sam Hartman. So do Wake Forest's, by the way. TCU in 2021 was 5-7. A year later, they're playing for the national championship in year 1 under Sonny Dykes. He's not a magician. He's a great coach. He's not a magician. But they were able to remake their run. They had a good quarterback in Max Duggan, who kept growing up and maturing and healthy. And you remade your roster in the transfer portal. So you can do it dramatically. Your fortunes can change dramatically in college football one way or the other. That trying to predict what the next 3 years are going to be like is fruitless. Because a year ago at this time, nobody would have had TCU sniffing a national championship game. But there they were. LSU was a projected 500 football team a year ago. They won the SEC West. Why? because you had a competent coach who took advantage of the transfer portal. It's just a fruitless effort trying to project in today's college football. The standard bearers are what they are. Georgia will be there as long as Nick's in Tuscaloosa. Alabama will be there. You feel good about Lincoln Riley in L.A., and, of course, you feel good about LSU because it's LSU. And then there's Ohio State and Michigan and all that stuff. But trying to project anything beyond that is just a complete waste of time. There's no sense in even trying to do it until we get a much greater sense of what the transfer portal does for and against teams, for and to teams. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We had awful weather yesterday. I know the state climatologist, Jay Grimes, said it's the worst hailstorm he's seen in 25 years. Of course, that means HUDCO, and our phone's been blowing up today, as you would imagine. A couple of things to remind you about. If you want to move swiftly, I was literally talking to our all of our managers earlier today over at HUDCO. Quite literally, if we have your shingle color, we could replace your roof by Friday. I mean, today's Wednesday. Like Friday, we could have crews at your home. So I know in West Baton Rouge, Bruley, Addis, Port Allen got hammered. I just got a text into the show from a listener in just south of Alexandria who got hammered with hail last night. There was parts of Baton Rouge, including River Bend, that got hammered with hail last night. This was hail the size of a tennis ball, the size of your palm. We're happy to help. We're a Louisiana company, been local in Louisiana for 20 years, Louisiana employees. We use Louisiana shingles, manufactured at the Certainty plant in Shreveport, so that supports Louisiana jobs. We are local, local, local. And the reason that matters so very much is if you hire a company that comes in to take advantage of the storm and they're gone in 2 weeks or 2 months, and then 2 months from now you have an issue and you call, are they coming to help you? The local company will. It's HUDCO Roofing. Do business with someone you know. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Go to the homepage of the website. You can fill out the inspection request form, or you can call. You dial us right now, 364-1007, 225-364-1007. Call us right now. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's a family member. I had someone earlier today message me, said, hey, I have an elderly aunt who lives in Bruley, needs a roof inspection. I was happy to help facilitate. 225-364-1007 or HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Let us help you. HUDCO Roofing and HUDCOroofing.com. All right, it's after further review. Well, I got a quick break. We'll come back. Let's hear a little bit more from Jay Johnson after the win last night and looking ahead to what the plan is for the Tigers tonight against Wake Forest. We're an hour and a half away from first pitch. Oh, by the way, I still have another pair of tickets to give away. We have one winner already. Congrats so courtesy again of our friends over at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. Every day that the Tigers have been at the College World Series, they've given us 2 pair of tickets to give away. These stories are fantastic of the people who are winning these tickets. I'll share some of them with you. But congrats to Wendy and Glenn, a married couple who went up to Omaha with no tickets in hand and are looking for them. And we're excited to give them a great pair of seats behind the LSU dugout for tonight's ball game. And we got another pair as well. So if you'd like to win those tickets, courtesy of our friends at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light, we'd love to help you out. Just let me know why you want the tickets. 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We'll knock out a quick break and continue here on AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Hey, look, no trivia tonight. I know Wednesday is Pluckers trivia, but with the game tonight, they're scrapping trivia for the game. They'll have the sound piped through in the speakers, so if you can't be in Omaha, the next best place to be for the College World Series is at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. You know the drill. 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar. Every night of the week, they got specials going on as well. So get on by Pluckers tonight, eat wings, drink beer, and watch the Tigers beat the Demon Deacons and cheer them on. There's no better place to watch it. Unobstructed views wherever you look. They'll have the sound pipe through at the restaurants there at both Pluckers locations. You'll have tons of flat-screen TVs. The Bluebonnet location has that 8-foot by 13-foot TV wall where you can go watch and eat wings and drink beer. It's the best place to be. It's at Pluckers where, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we have a starting pitcher for LSU tonight. A little breaking news. Maybe a little breaking news sounder there. There we go. Michael Cobble with the news, among others, but our friend from WBRZ Television lets us know that it will, in fact, be Javen Coleman starting tonight for the Tigers against the Demon Deacons. Javen Coleman, you all know his story. Javen Coleman was LSU's best left-hander a year ago, tore his UCL, had Tommy John surgery, missed the remainder of last season, returned this year sort of in a limited capacity as they started ramping him up. And by the end of the season, Javen Coleman was, Javen Coleman was part of your weekend rotation. And he has not pitched yet since the SEC tournament, which is interesting to see if this is if the layoff helps or maybe hurts Javen Coleman. And I don't have that knowledge, and would have to lean on someone who's had Tommy John before to let me know if that's the case. Maybe we can call Cartwright and Would you do that, please? Would you just shoot him a call or a text real quick? Because I am interested to know. Of course, we've had Renato on before. Renato didn't have Tommy John. I'm trying to think of some of the others who've been regulars with us. Cartwright's the one who I think who has had TJ. So I'm curious if thank you. If not pitching since the SEC tournament, which was, LSU got bounced the Wednesday before or the Thursday before Memorial Day. So that was the end of May. Now here you are. I mean, it's been a month. He hasn't pitched in a game in a month. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. So yeah, the Texas A&M game where he went 2/3 of an inning and threw 25 pitches is the last time that we saw Javen Coleman on the season. He's only pitched in 6 games. He has made 3 starts. Again, he was starting by the end of the season, and his record on the season is 1-2. He's got only 12 innings pitched, a 6.75 ERA. His longest outing of the season was the 3 innings he pitched against Georgia, where he allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. 3 earned, walked 2, struck out 2. So we haven't seen a dominant performance from Javen Coleman this year in any of his outings. As a matter of fact, we saw him throw 2 innings against Ole Miss where he allowed 3 runs on 3 hits in those 2 innings. He gave up 2 homers. So, far be it for me to question what Jay Johnson may be thinking right now, because last night he nailed it. So he's got something in mind. Wait, we do have him? Okay, let's real quick. All right, thank you. Alden Cartwright, answer the phone. That's really cool. Cartwright, what's up, man? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, he's calling. Musso's calling him. Okay, cool. He's going to call Alden. We'll see if I can get a... Okay, we got him now? Perfect. All right, thank you. Cartwright, what's up, man?
Cartwright? No, brother, that's all. What's up?
Hey, real quick. So Javen Coleman has been announced as the starter for tonight. And I was curious the perspective of someone who had Tommy John. So we haven't seen Coleman pitch since May 26th in the SEC tournament. He went 2/3 of an inning. And so I'm curious, for a guy that had Tommy John and was sort of ramping up, right? From 16 pitches to 29 pitches to 41, then a high this year of 65 against Georgia. He threw 25 against Texas A&M May 26th. Does a month-long layoff of not pitching, does that help you get stronger, or would you rather have continued pitching?
You'd definitely rather continue pitching, and he definitely is. He's throwing bullpens and, live ABs and stuff during practices and all that stuff. So don't think he just hasn't been on the mound. I know everybody knows that, but let's disclaim that. He just hasn't had the opportunity to go on the mound in a live hitting. And that's for any pitcher. I don't care if you've just come back from Tommy John or, you're healthy. That's tough. But, this type of atmosphere will get you going, but it's still not ideal.
Can you you can't replicate the intensity of pitching in a game when you're pitching a bullpen or whatever. But the other kind of real question though, Cartwright, is, when you're in the postseason, are you still focusing like in practice on getting those guys work? It might feel like a dumb question, but you really seem to hone in on your 6 or 7 guys that you trust the most. Like, is he getting that work in practice?
Absolutely, because every pitcher is on a routine, and every pitcher that's available on your staff that hasn't either been sent to summer ball or wherever is still on their bullpen routine, and they will even throw more in the middle of the week if they haven't got that work in. And so they're on a set schedule, just like Skeens is on a set schedule. Ty Floyd, so are the relievers, and so they're throwing during the middle of the week, and that's why I've actually thought about it a lot. I mean, think about a guy like Skeens. You've seen people in traditional, like in these type of settings, bringing stuff, like if someone throws in the middle of the week, you can use it as a bullpen and throw, 35, 40 pitches, whatever it is. And so those guys are getting the work during the week, whether you're a starter, reliever, or not pitching at all. Okay, good to know. Former Tiger pitcher Alden Cartwright, friend. I'm glad you answered the phone, man. That was very much off the cuff. We hadn't planned to call you, but I was having the conversation just out loud. So just call. Yeah. Who do I know that's had Tommy John? I'll tell you, this is how committed I am to you. I'm at a conference in Orlando, in the conference center at a networking reception, saw the text from Musso and said, hell yeah, walked out with my beer. Walked out with my beer. Well, it is 5:45 in Orlando, so
the old "it's 5 o'clock somewhere" plays. So thank you, Cartwright. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes. I'll let you get back to your beer and your conference.
Go Tigers.
All right. Oh, my God. Okay. I think I appreciate Alden Cartwright. But that's good to know. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com. Louisiana born, expanding throughout the southern part of Louisiana. Y'all, whether it's a trip to Omaha, a trip to the beach, or just a trip to work, you want your car to run right. You want the best tires on the road. You want Shawbills, because at Shawbills, they treat you right. That's what they've done for more than 50 years now. And when they opened up their doors back, in 1968, they've just continued to grow over 50 years with locations from Morgan City to Houma and Thibodaux, Booty, Raceland, up to Baton Rouge, Denham, Zachary, Prairieville, Port Allen, Lafayette, Broussard, Youngsville. They got you covered at Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com. If you need your vehicle serviced, if you need new tires on the vehicle, go where they're going to treat you the best and sell you the best possible tires at the cheapest price possible. That's Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, it is after further review, an hour and 15 minutes away from first pitch here with LSU and Wake Forest. LSU is the home team. By the way, I tweeted this last night. Jay Johnson, so if you're watching the postgame press conferences while the teams are in Omaha, there's always a press conference moderator. And so Jay Johnson is on the dais with the three players last night, Ackenhausen, Cooper, and Dylan Cruz. Well, they have questions for the student-athletes first, and then they leave, the student-athletes leave, and then it's questions for Jay Johnson. Well, when the student-athletes were dismissed, the moderator was there talking to Jay Johnson, and he whispers to him, "You're going to be the home team tomorrow. What uniforms are you going to wear?" And Jay says, "Gold and white." So, and the guy just kept saying, "White and white?" No, gold and white. Jay Johnson had to say it about 3 times. So, LSU is going to be the home team in oh, wait, here it is. Do we have the audio? Can we pull the audio of this?
Gold and white. Gold and white. All white. Gold and white.
Wait, play it again.
That's good.
Leave it up.
You will be the home team tomorrow.
So you'll be the home team tomorrow.
Gold and white.
Gold and white.
Gold and white. All white. Gold and white.
He had to tell him 3 times. Like, I don't know.
He's like pointing at the uniform,
He's
too. He's like pointing what I'm wearing.
Like literally gold and white. Like what I'm wearing right now is what we're going to wear tomorrow. So Tigers will be in their championship gold again today as the home team against Wake Forest. All right, let me knock out a break. I do appreciate Cartwright for jumping aboard with us there. We'll knock out a quick break and continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. There was a hailstorm for the ages in our area yesterday. If you had hail, think you might have had hail damage, let us help you out. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Call a local roofing company that has been here for decades and will continue to be here after the storm. Was talking to our partners a bit ago, Hudco Roofing. We have crews ready to go. We have shingles and materials ready to roll. We can help you get your claim approved, working with your insurance adjuster. But if you're ready to roll, we could literally be re-roofing your home Friday. And it's Wednesday at 4:48. By Friday, we could be re-roofing your home. Let us help you out. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Maybe it's a friend, a neighbor, a relative, a coworker. Let them know. Trust a local company after the storm. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We're presented by Pluckers. Glad you're with us. Jimmy out right after the top of the hours, and we will announce our final winner for a pair of tickets for tonight's game between LSU and Wake Forest, courtesy of Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. They've been awesome partners, giving us 2 pair of tickets to give away to every game so far of the College World Series. They're rocking seats as well, so really cool of them to do. Right now, Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
A lot of Major League Baseball to get to today. Let's start with last night, though. The Cincinnati Reds defeated the Colorado Rockies 8-6. Jake Fraley in that game, 1 for 3, a walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. The one was a double, his 9th of the season. It drove in teammate Ellie De La Cruz. Earlier today, the Reds finished off a series sweep of the Rockies. They were tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning when this happened.
Just outstanding, and it impacts the game. Fraley, first pitch. Gone! A line drive missile, and the Reds' first lead.
Is the game winner. 2-run shot for Fraley, part of a 2-for-4 day. The other, a single run scored, 2 RBIs. So Fraley now 270, 9 homers, and a team-leading 44 RBI, continuing his hot season, his hot first half of the season, I should say here. Last night, the Houston Astros defeated the New York Mets 4-2. Alex Bregman was 1 for 4, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. The one was this off a former teammate, Justin Verlander.
That ball's drilled to left field. That ball's gone. 3-0 home run for Alex Bregman. Breggy makes it a 3-0 game with home run number 10 on the season.
Came with 2 outs in the 3rd inning there off of Justin Verlander, and then today, Alex Bregman, a ho-hum, 3 for 5. Yeah, what can you do? All 3 of them singles, 2 more RBI, and 2 more runs scored for Alex Bregman. Kevin Gausman was on the mound today for the Toronto Blue Jays, got the dub, number 7 of the year, 6 innings, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 6 punch-outs. Tonight, Aaron Nola will toe the rubber versus the Atlanta Braves, who have just been a thorn in his side. 6-5 Nola, 4.66 ERA, 93 punch-outs in 94 innings. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, you will thrill her with a sparkling, beautiful, elegant diamond from Lee Michaels. Sourced from the best diamond mines in the world. And because they buy for 9 stores, they always get better prices, which they can pass along to you. It is Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, the highest quality diamonds at the best prices. That's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where you always get the Lee Michaels experience. LMFJ.com. Hour 3, right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
All right, y'all, we are churning through the summer, and some of you may be thinking, what am I going to do with my kids? Send them to Traction. TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. Traction Summer Baseball Camps. They've got full and half-day options all summer long, except for the week of the 4th of July. Full and half-day options. It's not too late to register your kiddo, your son, your daughter for summer baseball over at Traction. Again, full and half-day options for the entire week, every week, all throughout the summer over at Traction. Now, it's also a great time to start thinking about that performance training. If your son or daughter is in their off-season or if they're training in addition during their season, Traction can help. They get small group sport-specific training. If your daughter's a volleyball player, if your son is a lacrosse player, maybe it's baseball or softball or football or track, or swimming, whatever the sport, you want your son or daughter to be their absolute best. You can get sport-specific training at Traction. Go to TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Charlotte Hornets GM Mitch Kupchak says today the team is considering 2 players with the number 2 pick in tomorrow night's draft, but he won't rule out the possibility of trading down in that first round. Who has the best chance of challenging the NBA champion Nuggets in the West? ESPN's Tim Legler.
Golden State and Sacramento are 2 teams that I could look at as challenging the Nuggets if they added a piece. And it's hard to say like specific names because a lot of times those are pipe dreams, and they're just not realistic.
Tim Legler on Fitz and Harry. NBA draft coverage starts at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night here on ESPN Radio. And our Adrian Wojnarowski reports Nuggets guard Bruce Brown is turning down his $6.8 million option for next season. Instead, he'll become an unrestricted free agent. Baseball finals today. The Diamondbacks beat the Brewers 5-1. Zach Gallen goes 7 innings for his 9th win. The Rays beat the Orioles 7-2. Randy Arozarena drives in 2.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. It is a hump day. We are presented by Pluckers, but let us not waste any time. Let's go back to Charles Schwab Field. The Otter getting ready for LSU and Wake Forest. Good enough to join us. Charles and Jimmy been anchoring our coverage from Omaha, courtesy of our friends over at Rev Business. Otter, thanks as always. How are you?
Good, Matt. Good. We're leaving the hotel in just a little bit. Running behind a little bit.
Hey, man, okay. I heard you and Charles earlier on the show today, and you were kind of describing the atmosphere around Omaha a little bit. And it sounded, listening to you and Charlie, like maybe, I don't want to say like the air's been let out of the balloon, but it maybe just like there isn't as much fanfare here in the middle of the week.
Just it's just a little pause spot for some people. We ran into, there's some people that are here for the duration. Packing for a week and a half, regardless. But it's a lot of people also came for those. They have those 2 games scheduled, so you have more of a defined trip. It's just the past where people have been sitting around for 2 off days, 3 off days, 4 off days, one day in a row. We're talking about consecutive. But the way this thing is compressed now in Florida. So Florida started on the first day. They won both, had 2 days off. They win their first one here and have 2 days off. That's the most consecutive days you'll be sitting for fans to be sitting around with nothing to do. That's not like the old days. So, Doug Thompson, he didn't realize we played last night. If we go 1-1, I had to bring it to Charlie's attention on the way here. And, we had Ed Service, the head coach of the Creighton baseball team. And he said on yesterday, hey, look, you don't realize how many volunteers, how much effort goes into this event. As soon as it is over, they'll give it 48 hours, and they're meeting on sort of a follow-up. Okay, what worked, what didn't, what do we need to improve on? Let's get it while it's fresh in our head. And one of the things is, the compressed schedule, it does not Now, everybody's playing by the same rules, but that is really, it's just that much tougher on your pitching staff in trying to bring guys back. But on the other hand, it is, they've heard complaints. They listen to people, and they take it in. And there was a lot of dead time, and he thinks just that something completely different, and that is the games have been great. The games have been, we had another one-run game this afternoon. There've been more close games than ever before, and because of that, sort of working, they're probably gonna keep this compressed schedule, starting on a Friday and going to maximum the following Monday if a third game in a championship series is necessary.
It's odd because in that sense, you're right. It is a more fan-friendly and TV-friendly event with the schedule compressed. It is. There's less downtime. But you're talking about college baseball rosters that aren't built to play 5 games in 6 days and then potentially 8 games in 10 days or 7 or 8 games in 10 days. You know what I mean? So the competitive nature of it does challenge a team because you're not built to do this. So it's almost like which do you weigh heavier? I think we have our answer, actually.
Well, again, man, it's so important not to lose one of those first two. And, there's the uphill battle. Okay, I think we all agree if, one, we've been hitting left and right. Is Skeen's going to throw and Skeen's going to throw? That's a lot of locals. We're like, no, we just don't see it. But if they win, he's got to win too. So if he can pitch in one or the other, we'll give him where he's, close to his, his full rest. And that would be tomorrow if they advance. But there's the uphill battle. Okay, this is going to be really tough tonight. And then you come back with him tomorrow. Okay, you might advance. But what happens if you advance? How's your pitcher going to stack up against Florida? Ty Floyd's on normal rest, and everybody else is, kind of limping in. So, it's just
Ty wouldn't even be on normal rest, Jimmy. He'd be on 4 days rest on Saturday.
4 days rest.
On Saturday.
Well, normal rest is close to it. 5 days rest is standard in Major League Baseball.
No, I understand you pitch every fifth. No, I get that in Major League Baseball, but these guys are used to pitching every 7th day, not every 5th day. So you're 100% right.
That's by routine, but I think by rest factor, I think it'd be at 100% physically.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we see guys pitch on 5 days rest if you pitch Friday and then you pitch on the following Thursday, so you're 1 day short, and there's been no problem at all. You take another day off of that and you're affecting a routine. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see how that would play out. But the point is, Florida would line up, Sproat and Waldrop and Jack Caglione and on full rest, and that's a bear, man. If LSU does advance, man, that is just a mighty, mighty steep hill to climb, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And Florida kind of gets the breaks again. I mean, they have won 3 close. Man,
I know.
I could not believe the kid didn't score. He had a bad jump, and he's not fast on the ball to right center field, where they threw it to second first, just kind of hold and then he's coming home, and the ball is waiting on him. I forget what inning. It was the middle innings for TCU, but TCU did come back with their Friday starter. The guy started game 1 of this tournament here, and he was, and that was 87 pitches on Friday. So he came back today on 4 days rest, and he was compromised a little bit too.
Walk me through the line today there, Otter. Did I see yesterday LSU was like plus 220 and it just dropped dramatically today?
You talk about this Wake Forest line?
Yeah.
Okay, because they went off as a slight underdog last night. I'm sorry, no. LSU went off as a favorite.
Correct.
They were like 139 here at the Ameristar when they right before first pitch. Today I saw it open of like 155. But the big story was the totals. We were doing our podcast early this morning, scheduled for 9, so I'm writing down the odds about 8:30, and in the middle of the podcast, both totals were 11.5. The first total dropped from 11.5 to 10.5, and the second one LSU dropped to 9.5. Of course, it went under, and the flags were blowing. Now, I haven't been over there since this morning, but we're about to head over there a little bit, and I think it is carrying a little bit better to right center field. The last out was crushed to center field, hard to get it out. It went to the warning track. But last night, no way to prove it, but it's very much proven in my head that those two balls to right center field last night, the wind was the difference on those.
Otter, the one Cruz hit was if you'll excuse the phrase, was a piss missile. I mean, they were even talking on the broadcast. Like, if you turn the wind the other way, that's 15 rows deep. I mean, it was he blasted that ball. It just got knocked down at the track. So, go ahead.
I thought Tommy White's as well, Matt, and the thing that convinces me is the original path of the outfielders. It was altered based on that ball was getting knocked down. So they kind of were going back like, oh wait, that's going to stand, and then they kind of redirected themselves to the warning track. So so I showed the flags earlier, and they were whipping at that time this morning more than what they were on yesterday morning. So we take, Max sends me the weather report, and it was supposed to be a little not quite as windy today, but as of the morning and for the first half of the first game, it may have been worse than yesterday.
Yeah, we did. We talked to Doug Thompson exactly an hour ago, and he told us the wind was blowing in just like it was last night. So
there you okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we hopefully it seemed like by the end of the game, like when Cruz hit his homer late in the game, maybe it had softened a bit, but we'll see how it plays out. Jimmy Ott's with us, of course, our coverage there in Omaha, presented by Rev Business. We appreciate Rev for sending the fellas up there and taking care of our coverage, and they've been doing an awesome job. So give me a thought here tonight, Otter. LSU plus 120 on the money line, Wake Forest minus 150. You have a thought on the game?
I think it's going to be tough for LSU. I mean, they just haven't shown me that the lineup is, in top form. I mean, Morgan is probably getting the best consistent at bats, but I mean, it's just it's going to be tough tonight, Matt.
Yeah.
I do think there'll be some more runs scored in this one, but it's now 9-2 to the under, and as close and competitive as these games have been, it's still the 8 of the 11 have been won by the favorite. So I think it's going to be tough to beat Wake Forest. I do think if they beat win tonight, I think they will come back with schemes. I think they will, go and advance, to the championship series.
Wow.
But tonight's a tall test, and Wake has gotten off the hook, man. I mean, Stanford had them. And the play of the game, let's face it, the first and third, nobody out in the eighth inning, 2-0 pitch, to Beloso. And, we had Blair Barbier on who played, we know he played a lot of second, but one SEC tournament, Skip moved him from second to third, and, they stayed with it. I think they put Trey McClure at second, and he made that move and stuck with it all the way through the championship. And he said, no, you don't practice that play. I mean, hit it to me here in the back, my momentum, and I'm going to make a throw over there. And it was just, I don't know, 5% of the time, 10%, 1%, I don't know. It was just the favors at in game when that guy's making that fielding the ball right there. LSU's win probability was really high, and that was just a blow, man. It allowed them to get their closer in, the next guy, and he gets the double play. And but Wake has been very fortunate. They've been very good on the mound, but are they going to kind of snap out of their hitting slump a little bit and produce some more runs? This is a scary team if they give these pitchers any more run support. But against down the line pitching, we'll see. Hey, if you did listen to that soundbite from Ackenhausen, he mentioned the wind.
Yeah.
He mentioned confidence, and you will attack hitters more, if the park is playing as big as it has since Monday.
All right, live at lunch with Ott and Hanny, 11-1 Central Time right here in 104.5.
How about our night last night?
I was going to get there. I mean, you stepped. I was trying to promo your show, and you stepped all over it. You know what? Nobody listened to Jimmy's show. Nobody listened to it. I'm the damn program director. I'm telling everybody, don't even listen to it. Turn off your radios 11-1.
Oh, don't worry. Look, people pushing me out the way to take pictures with hands.
Wait, hang on. All right. Muse, you better get the ding ready. I'm not sure if you're familiar with how the Otter did, but I got a text around midnight last night. It was like, we had a what did you say? We had a corn storm outage in Omaha last night. How about this for the Otter? He told you last night, hey, take the New York Yankees with Garrett Cole on the bump at that price. Yep, that worked out 3-1. He said, hey, look, split your bets, money line and run line with the Cubs against the Pirates. Well, not only did the Cubs win the game, they won the game 4-0, so they covered that run line as well. And then he said, do the same thing with the Dodgers against the Angels. Well, the Dodgers did, in fact, win the game, and they did, in fact, cover the run line as well. And for good measure, the Otter also told you take under 11.5 in LSU, Tennessee, and we know that went way under. So that would be a perfect 6-0 night for your boy. Congratulations on a fantastic night, Otter.
Save me a six-pack. Every six-pack we get, I get a six-pack. So
Okay, fair enough. I got you covered. Thank you, Otter. We appreciate it.
All right, Matt. Thank you.
All right, man. Be well. Jimmy and Charles there in Omaha, courtesy of our friends at Rev Business, who are formerly E-Tel. We all know E-Tel's rebranded as Rev, and Rev Business, fantastic people over there. We appreciate them for allowing us to bring you this coverage from Omaha all throughout the College World Series. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Every day I tell you about the G team, all the great NIL athletes that have joined Gordon's team. Every day I mention if you've been injured in Louisiana, it's not your fault. Do what injured people have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. But I love telling you also about Gordon Gives. This is the mission behind the man, the mission behind the firm, the mission behind everything you outwardly see. Gordon McKernan has been blessed personally and professionally and gives back. That's the impetus for Gordon Gives. It's the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. More than 260 organizations have been helped by Gordon Gives. You could see about their bike giveaway during the holidays. You could see about what they do during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've talked to you plenty about the G team and so many other things that they've done. But it's about community involvement. It's Gordon Gives. Learn more. Go online to GordonGives.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Well, we talked about it before the tournament started. I mean, we do have the ability to win games in different ways. Because of our pitching and defense, we can win the 3-2 game. Because of our offense, we can win the 8-6 or 10-8 game too. So again, that's one of the things I really like about this club. But it's a veteran club, and we've got some toughness to us. I mean, that's the one thing I said to the guys in the huddle before the game. I said they don't know how tough we are. I mean, we're a tough team, and we're a tough-minded team, and we don't quit, and we don't give up. And as these guys, as you saw when they were talking today, they don't want to let each other down, and that's such a powerful motivator in these situations.
Tom Walter, Wake Forest head coach, preparing for today's game against LSU. There is validity to what he said there. This is a Wake Forest team that largely has been untested and unchallenged throughout the course of the year. The ACC was not a great league this year. Wake Forest has been a magnificent team. Now, they play in a tiny ballpark, and so some of their offensive numbers likely are slightly inflated, but that also speaks volumes about their pitching staff playing in that ballpark to have the numbers that they do. As we look at it, there are two possibilities for Wake tonight on the mound to go up against these LSU hitters. You're likely going to see, and actually we have the lineup posted. We have a starter. It is Keener. Okay, they are going with Keener. I can't say that I'm tremendously surprised. That was so last night, and I've been doing this every night for as long as LSU's been in the College World Series. I'll fire up a live stream after the game. As many of you probably know, we can't do companion shows during the games anymore as part of our LSU affiliate contract, which is fine. But so what I've been doing is just when the game ends, I'll fire up a live stream to do sort of a post game. And immediate reaction last night after the game, after LSU beat Tennessee and we knew they were going to play Wake again, the number one question I got is LSU going to throw Skeens? And the answer is no. They're not going to throw Paul Skeens on 3 days rest, not after throwing 123 pitches. If you get to tomorrow, I think that they'll throw him tomorrow for certain. But Seth Keener or Sean Sullivan were your two options for Wake Forest tonight. Now, Keener is a 6'2 righty. He's a junior. Sullivan is a long 6'4 lefty who's a sophomore. And both have been magnificent. Both have thrown identically 66 innings on the season. Both have sub-3 ERAs. Keener, who is going to start, has a 2.18. Sullivan has a 2.59 ERA. Sullivan, the lefty, has a little higher strikeout total. He's at 108 in 66 innings pitched, which is an incredible total. I'm not great at math, but that's nearly 2 an inning. Keener, who's going to get the start, has 90 strikeouts in 66 innings pitched, which is still more than a strikeout per inning pitched, which is just incredible. I mean, they've got arms for days, and that is Wake Forest flex. They've got a lot of really talented arms. I am happy to see LSU facing a righty instead of a lefty. Now, Keener, who LSU is going to see tonight, the righty, has been both a starter and a bullpen guy. Most of the season, he's been a bullpen guy. Of his 22 appearances, only 7 have been starts, but he became the number 3 guy later in the season. So that was his spot in the rotation. They would go Lauder, Hartle, Keener is how they would set it up through a weekend series. Now, Sullivan has also started. He started 10 times of his 16 appearances this year that have been starts. I'm going to assume that we see both of them tonight. That Keener is, we know now Keener is going to start. And I would assume that after Keener, that we will see Sullivan at some point in this ball game for Wake Forest. I think the key, a major key for LSU clearly is going to be just get deep into this bullpen. They are talented. There's no doubt. We've talked about that plenty at this point. It would be really interesting. I mean, really interesting if Tom Walter has a decision to make of if he goes to Rhett Lauder in the bullpen. You said it earlier. I know he said it on his podcast that you think if they have a chance, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you think if he's got a chance to win it in the ninth, they'd go to Lauder?
That's what I would do, yeah. I mean, because my thing is if Rhett Lauder on, this would be three days rest, right? If he throws 20 or 10, 15 pitches in relief, shuts LSU down, you could conceivably have him back again in relief or in a start at some point in the championship series. If I'm Wake Forest, I'm doing all I can to not face Paul Skeens because you can have the best offense in the world. You haven't seen a guy like that because nobody else has a guy like that. And I think Skeens, with his recovery and whatnot, would be pretty much a full go when they give him the ball again.
I don't know. I've said I don't know that they would go and extend him like 120 pitches.
No, maybe not 120.
But could you get him north of 80, between 80 and 100 pitches? Could you get him 5-6 innings? I think easily.
And you would take that if you're LSU, right?
Of course you would.
I mean, look, you'd get 2 days off. You could rest up everybody. And it's interesting when we had Skip Foreman on, he was talking about it and talked about the depth of the bullpen as a reason maybe they wouldn't. I actually look at it the other way. I look at that as a reason that they would. You feel comfortable with what you have going into a championship series, but maybe he is your best opportunity here tonight to close it.
For what it's worth, I don't know what they'll do with Lauder. For those that don't know, Lauder's it's their ace. He's their front of the rotation guy with the long hair. Looks like he's wearing a wig out of his hat. And he's magnificent, but they are some weird guys. Man, they are weird.
They're interesting, that's for sure.
They're a weird lot. I had Tripp, our intern, pull these numbers for me, and like hat tip to him. He went and gave me 5 pages of info. It's every time LSU has faced a lefty this year. And you know one of the big narratives, LSU can't hit lefties.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, I'm going to tell you, aside from Hagen Smith and Hunter Holland, who at the first matchup on that Friday at the box where they moved the game up during the day, Holland went 5 1/3, no runs on 3 hits, struck out 7. Hagen Smith followed him. That was before Smith was starting. 4 2/3, 8 strikeouts, 3 runs on 5 hits. And then they saw those two again in the SEC tournament, and it was similar. Hagen Smith started, went 3 2/3, and it had 9 strikeouts. Hunter Holland went 5 1/3, had 8 strikeouts, 2 runs on 6 hits. Aside from those two guys, and I got 5 pages. Maybe 6. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's one, in the College World Series, they faced Kirby Connell and then Hartle. 7 pages. Aside from those 2 outings against the Arkansas pitchers, the only lefties that have given LSU any trouble at all, Jared Simpson, of course, was awesome. The guy from Iowa, back in Round Rock. He came on in relief and went 4 2/3, 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out 8, walked 1. LSU just couldn't hit him. There was a guy named Owen Barima from Kansas State.
Barima, yeah.
This is when I was in Napa, so I don't remember this.
That was surprising.
1 run on 4 hits and 4 1/3. He struck out 7, didn't walk anybody. I did not watch that game. I was in Napa.
Former D3 pitcher too.
Good for him. Don't care.
Yeah, it was a good outing for him.
And then Tommy Vale from Auburn. Tommy Vale gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, was 4 innings, struck out 8, walked 1. Tommy Vale had a nice day, and Auburn won that game. That's when Auburn pitched backwards against LSU. That's it. Will Johnston pitched okay against LSU, the lefty from A&M in the SEC tournament. I mean, he went 6 innings, about 3 runs on 8 hits, walked 3, struck out 7. I mean, it was okay, but I would take that tonight.
Yeah.
I would take that in a heartbeat. If that, so anyway, I guess my point is, if you're concerned, fearful of, worried about facing a lefty, and they're not, I mean, they're going to start Keener, but I think you're going to face the lefty at some point tonight. It's so much talk, but as much as we've had these conversations, I feel like you convince yourself of a narrative, and then anytime you see it, you go, see? Whatever supports your narrative, when I've got 7 pages of documents of LSU facing lefties where they I mean, you want to read any of them? I mean, I don't know that you truly care, but Gabby Calderon went an inning and 2/3, 4 runs, 4 hits. LSU rocked him. This guy from Sam Houston.
I don't even remember that guy.
David Shaw from Texas.
The head coach of Stanford?
David Shaw from Texas. Only lasted 2/3 of an inning.
Is that the guy who gave up he had to give up the homer to Dugas?
Chris Stewart gave up the homer.
Okay.
No, he had the 2 runs charged to him. Anyway, one of those did. It doesn't really make sense in the box score. I guess my point is, man, I'm looking through dozens of a couple of dozen outings against lefties, and they didn't struggle against lefties. No. They struggled against Hunter Holland and Hagen Smith, who were freaking awesome. Yeah. Jared Simpson, who was awesome. Now, the guy you're seeing today may be awesome, but if you struggle, it ain't because he's a lefty. It's because he's a lefty with wicked stuff. And if that happens, that happens. But that can just as soon happen against a righty.
When I was driving home, was it Tuesday night they played Wake Forest first? Yeah, Tuesday night.
No, Monday.
No, Monday night. Whew.
Tuesday was yesterday.
Yeah.
Days of the week are tough.
Dude, they are, man. Anyway, they said on the radio broadcast that night because they were facing Hartle that LSU hit 304 off lefties this year. I mean, is
that good?
That's pretty good, man. That'll.
I wish we had access to those splits.
Yeah.
And I know they have them, and you can get them in Major League Baseball. I would love to see things like that. The coaches obviously have them. We just don't have access to them. And I wish we did. That would be a lot of fun to have them. It would make our jobs a lot easier.
Yes, it would.
All right. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Mold Zero USA, mold-0usa.com, mold-0usa.com. Probably a good time to remind you, considering all of the awful storms that came through. Look, I mean, I know in the Shreveport area, in Bossier, the weather was atrocious. And, man, you had a lot of trees and homes and holes in roofs. And as a result, you probably had water in homes. And if you had, you could have mold. And if you need remediation services, call Mold Zero. Obviously, with all the hail in South Louisiana, Central and South Louisiana on Tuesday, if you have issues with water in your house, call Mold Zero. Mold-0usa.com, mold-0usa.com. At the top of the page, you'll see numbers for Baton Rouge and New Orleans, but they'll service all of South Louisiana. If you want to have them explain the process, the thing I talk about every day, the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment, call Mold Zero. Talk to Jim. He'll explain the whole process to you, how you can save money. You can remove mold and odor from your home. It's Mold Zero USA. Mold-0usa.com. I trust Mold Zero. They got a full U.S. Army Corps of Engineers report. They've got testimonial videos up there as well. If you want to hear from people who've called Mold Zero, it is so worth having that option. Mold-0usa.com. Mold-0usa.com. All right, y'all. It is After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Really excited. We got our winners for the tickets, and we'll tell you about them. Big hat tip to our friends at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light for. It's just a really cool thing, man. I've tell you all the time. Mockler's a local company. They've been local for 40 years. They have supported darn near every charitable organization you can imagine, wherever you go to school or worship or whatever charitable fundraising organization that means a lot to you. Mockler at some point throughout their history has no doubt helped that organization, and they just continue to be local, which is awesome. And as an LSU partner, they had tickets for the College World Series. They've given them to us to give away on air every day. They're just awesome people, man. Glad to be partnered with our friends at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. All right, it's After Further Review. Quick break. We'll continue. We got 2 segments left since we just did. You know what? We didn't get Otter locks today. Jimmy joined us. We just didn't get his picks. So I need to get his picks. We'll circle back to that. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I had a great conversation earlier this week with my friends over at New Orleans Flooring. Talked to Big Sean via text earlier this week on Monday. Excited. Probably going to get over there tomorrow. The Scones are about to change their flooring in their house, and I'm excited to go through the whole process with New Orleans Flooring. Actually, when we moved into our house 6-7 years ago now, there was water damage. Some of the floor, some parts of the floor were kind of beveled a little bit, and we knew eventually we'd have to change them. And so we're just at that point now. We're ready to do it. And, of course, we're going to go to New Orleans Flooring. Remember, at New Orleans Flooring, they have all of the flooring products from all of the different companies you would get anywhere, but they also are the exclusive dealer of Strong Built flooring in the Baton Rouge area. And remember, Strong Built has a good, better, and best option. But what's amazing, go by and ask them, show me the side-by-side of your good, better, best, and other brands. It will blow you away, the quality you get at the price. It's New Orleans Flooring. Check them out online at nolaflooring.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you can run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Yeah, they're legit. I'm going to have to go back and look at it again. You know, when I saw this side of the bracket, like, and all 8 teams here are amazing. I said that before the tournament. Of the 3 times I've been here, this is the best field. There's the most good players and good pitchers of the times I've been in the College World Series. They're certainly part of that. I thought Hartle threw an outstanding game. I thought their pen was good. They have more guys that they can go to. Offense, they have their way, and they do their thing really, really well. So wouldn't want to be playing anybody else. I feel like the 4 best teams in the country are the 4 best teams still playing in Omaha right now.
I'd rather play somebody else. I'd rather play Oral Roberts. That's who I'd rather play. Georgia got to play TCU for the national championship in football. I don't think they're giving it back or making any apologies.
They haven't by my count yet. No, they still have the trophy.
Yeah. But it's what it is. Got to go beat them twice. We have seen improbable things happen. Look, in 2017, of course, we all know Oregon State. Oregon State. That was that we forget because you forget teams that don't win the last game. That's the nature of it. You forget teams that don't win the last game. The 73-9 Golden State Warriors are going to be forgotten. They will only be remembered for being a 73-9 team that gave up a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. No one's going to remember that Oregon State team because they lost. But that was a magnificent baseball team, and that LSU came back and beat twice, facing elimination. The big difference is you had Alex Lang going in game 1 of facing elimination against Oregon State. He shoved, and then Caleb Gilbert gave you the For the Ages performance. You're going to have to beat You're going to have to beat Wake Forest tonight with a bullpen game, and hope you have the opportunity to give it to Skeens tomorrow to pitch into the championship series. No change in the lineup. They'll do it exactly tonight like they did last night. Cruz, White, Morgan, Dugas, Beloso, Thompson, Jobert, Milazzo, Pearson. So last night at this time, we were sort of speculating as to the reason that Milazzo replaced Hayden Travinski in the lineup. And Muse, I know you had sort of supposed that wind blowing in, lower scoring game, go defense. We've now learned that Travinski's got. Doug Thompson told us earlier it's kind of a little bit of maybe like a rib strain that he's dealing with, and they did pinch run for Travinski against Wake Forest on Monday late in the game. They pinch ran Merrifield. I mean, that's what happened right before the everything unfortunately collapsed around LSU with the ground ball to third. But with first and third, nobody out. That was Merrifield at first, pinch running for Travinski. But it's a moot point now because clearly Travinski's not healthy and able to play, which is disappointing. But there are two schools of thought in that situation. It's, do you want the glove or do you want the bat? And if it's going to be a low-scoring game, do you want the glove at a premium position, or do you want the bat because it's a low-scoring game? I don't want a guy that I need every bat in a lineup against that team. And look, I'm weird because my hand's in the air. I'm the guy that tells you all the time I would take a glove at a premium position. And we've seen that plenty. You all know the examples. Papirski, when he wasn't hitting early in his career, but he was so good as a defensive catcher. Austin Nola as a shortstop in 2009 hit 200, but improved LSU's defense dramatically on the middle infield. Andrew Stevenson in 2015 was sensational in center field, but hit 180, 189, whatever it was. But it was like having two outfielders in one spot. So of course you played him. But against this team, I'd rather. Now we don't have the option, right? LSU doesn't have the option because Travinski's hurt. But I would take tonight 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts if the one were a 3-run homer, because I think offense is probably going to be that hard to come by in this game tonight. So, Muse, what are your thoughts on it? Obviously, with Travinski not being in there.
Yeah, I mean, and look, man, last night, Milazzo came up in a lot of big spots last night, too. And it just, I mean, look, he just didn't come through.
He was the final out of the inning 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot different when you have, Jobert, Thompson, Pearson as your 7, 8, 9, when you have to sandwich Milazzo in between them. I'm with you on it. In a game like this, I would have definitely, we know where I stood yesterday. I said I think that's why he's doing it is the defense before we knew about the Travinsky injury. But in a game like this where you're down kind of towards the bottom of your pitching staff, where it feels like, and Wake Forest feels like a team that has just been grinding their gears, man, ready to bust out offensively. It feels like LSU's going to have to score some runs here. So, yeah, you'd want all the bats you could get in there, even though Travinsky has struggled mightily in the College World Series. And, of course, that injury is probably a good reason why. It's hard to rotate with hurt ribs.
Still 2 games.
It's
just not a large enough sample for me to say. I mean, Joe Bear was a single away from the cycle, and he struggled the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So it's just
it's baseball.
It's not a big enough sample for me to say bench him because he struggled in 2 games when he's been so good for 2 months. So, but I'm with you. But clearly LSU doesn't have the option to play him tonight. So it will be Milazzo again. And listen, Doug said it last hour. We talked about it in the open. Milazzo saved at least 1, maybe 2 runs last night, which is why you would want a defensive catcher in there. Each pitcher, Cooper and Ackenhausen, bounced the breaking ball with the runner at third, and Milazzo blocked, tough plays, blocked it up. I mean, it's why he's in there. Those are the things that you don't see in a box score that you value in a great defensive catcher. So, all right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Oh, my God. I didn't see Wembanyama's first pitch till just now. Did you see that?
I did see it.
Why are basketball players, generally speaking, so unable to throw a baseball?
It's a great question.
I was never aware of this until we started playing in Jock's Red Rock and Blue game, and it always stunned me. I was like, how is this as you're talking about NBA players, some of the most, the greatest athletes in the world that can't rotate and throw a baseball.
I will say this about Wemby, though. They also did post a picture of him holding the ball, and he had closed his hand, and you could not see the baseball anymore. So, I mean, maybe...
So it's like you or me throwing a marble. I could still throw a marble straight.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Call Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding. If you throw a baseball, maybe you're Webby and you're trying to throw the ball straight, but you throw it crooked and it goes into a window. Remember, lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. That's Relief Windows. The customer service experience at Relief Windows is unparalleled. It's just unparalleled. They'll measure twice. They'll install once. I've gone through it in 2 different homes now. And I'm telling you, there's just nothing like Relief Windows. If you need windows, doors, siding, make your home more energy efficient, beautify the exterior of your home, increase your home's resale value. It's an investment into your home. It's Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, y'all, we're going to knock out our final break. We'll come back. I'll see if Otter has any. Oh, did he send them? He just texted us. Okay. Did you ask him? Oh, how about the Otter coming through with some Otter locks? Look at our guy.
The commitment is strong,
our guy.
And I like it.
All right. So the Otter did send us 3 picks. We will do Otter locks to wrap up next here on AFR.
AFR.
Buying or selling commercial or residential, call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. Congratulations in order again. As we mentioned, we found out last week, Darren James yet again on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1,000 realtors in America. Number 54 in the country. Amazing. And listen, I tell you all the time, doesn't matter if it's a $50,000 house, $50 million house. Darren's going to make you feel like you are his only customer. I saw this one pop up on Darren's social media today. This is a gorgeous property. It's actually priced below appraisal. It did not flood. There's a motivated seller, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, tons of storage, 4.5 acres. You can get it right now. He's got info. Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile bank.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Remember, no trivia tonight at Pluckers. They will have the game on, sound pumped in, so no trivia. And then also no scone and tea. Of course, T's on vacation this week, but we're just not allowed to do a companion show opposite an LSU sporting event as a member of the LSU Sports Radio Network. So no scone and tea. We'll pick up next week. They are still going to have a break-even pour over at Oliver Twist. It's a new batch of Blood Oath. So $8 a pour. Great spot to get by. You can watch the game, eat some dinner. Great spot to get on by. Either Pluckers, of course, or Oliver Twist. Just no scone and tea tonight. We'll pick up again next week. Jimmy did come through with a couple of picks for Otter Locks. Here you go. How about your boy with a 6-0 night last night?
That's pretty good. I can't lie.
6-0. Is he getting hot just in time to leave again for Del Mar?
Yeah, that is coming up, isn't it? That trip's right around the corner where the surf meets the turf.
All right. Here you go. Here are Otter's locks for tonight. 3 Major League Baseball plays. He did not, however, give us a play on this LSU game. I don't even think he gave us a play on the total. The under has dominated in the College World Series.
9-2.
But he did not give that. The total last night was 11.5. It's down to 9.5 for tonight's ballgame. Wind blowing in. I think a lot of adjustments have been made, but do what you will with that. All right. 3 plays. He's got the A's with Paul Blackburn on the bump against Gavin Williams of the Guardians. So the A's on the money line. He likes the Angels also on the money line. They're at home with Shohei Ohtani on the bump against the Dodgers. And then he also likes Muse's Boston Red Sox with Garrett Whitlock on the bump against Sonny Gray, the Minnesota Twins. So The Angels, the A's, and the Red Sox. Those are Otter's locks tonight. Of course, Otter, like I, both patients of Dr. Blake Williamson over at the Williamson Eye Center. I want to tell you every day, Dr. Blake Williamson, the Williamson Eye Center, no matter your age or your refractive issue, they have something that can help you see 20/20 without contacts or glasses. And for me, it was LASIK. For Otter at this point in his life, it was lens replacement. I was super, super nearsighted. He's farsighted. So he's doing the thing where he's got to hold the menu away from him and shine a light on it. Many of you had readers. Many of you can empathize. Not anymore. No matter your age or refractive issue, Dr. Blake Williamson has an option for you to live your life without contacts or glasses. Give yourself the gift of sight. Let Dr. Blake Williamson at the Williamson Eye Center help. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, Muse Pauly, we appreciate y'all. Have an awesome night. Go Tigers. Hopefully we're back here talking about a game tomorrow.
AFR.
All right, we're getting on down the road. One more reminder about the aesthetic medicine and anti-aging clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Two things. Number one, laser hair removal. Buy 4 treatments, get 2 free. All this month, buy 4 treatments, get 2 free. Laser hair removal. Buy 4 treatments, get 2 free. If you want to be done, ladies, shaving your legs forever, laser hair removal can help. Guys, you want to get rid of your back, shoulder hair forever, they can help. Laser hair removal at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. The other special is your initial blood labs. Discounts on your initial blood labs if you are considering hormone replacement therapy. The thing that I always encourage you to do, go get your blood work done. Let them take a look at your blood work to see what's going on with you internally, to see if they can safely and affordably supplement you to get you to healthy levels so you start feeling like your younger self. Learn more online at theantiagingclinics.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind. When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary.